Near the end of our week-long family vacation in Hawaii, we decided to visit the Byodo-In Japanese temple. The temple was located at the base of the Ko'olau mountain in the valley of the temple's Memorial Park. Right when you enter, there is a giant bell that you're allowed to hit with a log to foster peace and prosperity in your life. Naturally, we all had to give it a try.
Mom, you need some peace in your life.
Yes, I do.
Let's do a bigger one. Do a bigger one.
After hitting the peace bell, we went over to look at the koi ponds.
We think we're gonna feed them.
There were so many little fish, it was impossible to even try to count them all. The next area we went to was the meditation pavilion on top of a little hill overlooking the park.
Arden, are you meditating?
After exploring the gardens, we went inside the Buddhist temple itself. Inside the temple, it was important to be respectful. No shoes are allowed inside, and everyone must be very quiet. There were also many offerings inside the temple, just like out in the gardens. Once you exited the temple, you were greeted by massive koi, as opposed to the baby ones in the other koi ponds. The temple also had a little gift shop that sold fish food, and it was really fun to feed these hungry fishies.
Oh, you got it?
While walking around the grounds, we even spotted a black swan. I had no idea these creatures lived in Hawaii, but apparently this one has made this Buddhist temple its home. Apart from the fish and birds, there were also quite a few stray kittens wandering around. They were all very friendly and soft. It's crazy to think that this temple was built all the way back in 1968 to commemorate the 100-year anniversary of the arrival of Hawaii's first Japanese immigrants. The temple is modeled after a 950-year-old temple in Uji, Japan, which makes sense considering how authentic it feels. After watching the wildlife one final time and trying to feed the black swan, we decided to drive through the rest of the valley of the temples. It is important to be respectful of the area as it is a mortuary. But the beautiful mountain landscapes are some of the best I've ever seen in Hawaii. Near the boundary of the grounds is an area called the Ocean View Terrace. Not only can you see the entire Temple Valley, but you can even make out the ocean and the town in the distance. After soaking up the wonderful 360-degree views, we hit the road for the next stop on our Hawaiian adventure. 30 minutes later, and we had arrived at none other than the famous Dole Plantation. What once started out as a fruit stand in the 1950s has since expanded to become an international sensation and one of America's most popular fruit brands. We're at the Dole Plantation. The Dole Plantation experience opened all the way back in 1989 and ever since has been welcoming millions of visitors each year. The park is full of tropical gardens, pineapple plants, a train ride through the plantation, and the world's largest pineapple maze.
The world's biggest maze.
Of course, we had to check out all of the attractions. First up, the train ride. The train ride took us through all the different crops that Dole farms every year. The conductor was very informative and kept telling us fun facts about all the different plants and fruits that Dole grows here on their plantation and all over the world. It was a relaxing little train ride through the farm and a great place to rest our feet for a while after a full day of wandering around. After the train ride, we went to the gift shop. The gift shop had everything you could imagine: pineapple candy, snacks, toys, clothes, decor, and adorable pineapple plushies. There was even pineapple wine.
Pineapple shot.
Whoa, we got tiny ones.
Arden, do you want him?
After indulging in way too many pineapple souvenirs and candies, we started making our way back home. On the way back from the plantation, though, we had to stop at one of Hawaii's most famous lookouts, Nu'uanu Pali. The lookout was extremely close to the parking lot. Less than 5 minutes after getting out of our car, we were standing on what felt like the top of the world. This lookout has the unique opportunity of being on the windward side of Hawaii, overlooking the Nu'uanu Valley from the cliffs of the Ko'olau Mountain. We luckily came at a time when there were minimal clouds. Usually by this time of day, the wind pushes the cloud cover up into the mountains. I'm surprised we didn't get blown off the cliffside with how hard these winds were blowing.
Gosh, it's so windy. Bird watching everybody.
Go down 100 feet, there won't be wind. Go down that way 100 feet.
The lookout area was quite small, but we were able to keep busy by reading all of the park's informational signs about the local wildlife and the different Hawaii islands. After spending a good amount of time looking at the gorgeous view, we hopped back in the car and made it home after a very long day. And what better way to end a fun day on the island than with relaxing in your very own private pool? Next day, we got back into our cars and went to the local Lana'i beach for some seaside family photos.
Different hat, so excuse me, princess.
Nice hat, Andrew.
Yeah, I know, I'm glorious.
That's great. There's Dad reading his sign.
After getting some picturesque shots of the entire family, we continued along Hawaii's beautiful highway and stopped at a few famous lookouts along the way. First up was the Lana'i Lookout. This lookout is located on the southeast shore of Oahu, along the Halona Blowhole highway. There was even a secret beach that looked more like a wave pool from high up above. It was just sheltered enough from the tides by the cliffs to make it rough, but still safe and enjoyable to swim in. The waves in this area were very large, and there were even signs saying they could splash visitors even though we were all the way up high in the cliffs. What's special about this point is that on the clearest of days, you can actually see some of Hawaii's other islands, specifically Lanai, Molokai, and Maui.
It turns things up down there.
Wow. That's really cool.
Our next stop along the same highway was the Halona Blowhole Lookout. The blowhole is most active on windy days when the tide is high, so we came at the perfect time. last stop on the highway was the Makapuu Lookout. This lookout overlooks Makapuu Beach Park, the southern cliffs and Sea of Hawaii, and several islands. These islands are Robert Island and Kaohikepu Island. They're uninhabited but make for a great addition to the scenery. Our last stop of the day stuck with our beach theme. We drove all the way to the other side of the island for a special sunset surprise. After a long but beautiful drive, we made it just in time to Sunset Beach on the North Shore. It's easy to see where this beach gets its name from. We walked along the perfect sandy beach until we found the ideal spot to set up our beach towels and watch the sunset. The golden glow of the Hawaiian sun was something straight out of a vacation postcard. Let's Sunset Beach. As quickly as it came up that day, the sun set back down under the rolling ocean waves. But even though the beach was slowly sinking into twilight, we still wanted to enjoy one last swim in the ocean.
Wow, she's doing it.
And that concluded our wonderful beach day in Hawaii. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to like and subscribe. I hope to see you all again soon.